Hello, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Marcus, and I make videos about money, personal finance, and investing that can help you to live a financially stable life. If you're watching this video, chances are you're looking for ways to get out of the rat race and improve your financial situation. In today's video, we're going to talk about some common money traps that are keeping you broke and stopping you from reaching your financial goals. These 12 major money traps we're going to discuss later on in this video are very subtle and easy to fall into and have been the #1 reasons why many people struggle with their finances and always find themselves in the same spot. But don't worry, once you know what they are, you can avoid them and start building wealth. Today will be the end of you struggling financially. I'll share with you some tips and tricks to help you avoid, overcome, and stay on track to financial success. But before we dive in, make sure you hit that subscribe button, like the video, and comment down below if you have any questions. That way, you won't miss out on any of our future videos that could potentially transform your financial life. Let's get started. 1. The debt trap. The debt trap is a situation where you borrow money but find it difficult to repay it, causing them to take on more debt just to keep up with payments. This cycle of borrowing and struggling to repay can become a trap that keeps you in debt for years, if not decades. One common debt trap is credit card debt. It's easy to swipe your card and forget that you're spending real money, and before you know it, you're carrying a balance with high interest rates. Another trap is taking out loans for big purchases like cars or vacations. While it may seem like a good idea at the time, these loans can quickly become a burden if you can't keep up with payments. The best way to avoid the debt trap is to live within your means. Set a budget and stick to it, avoiding unnecessary expenses. Avoid taking out loans for purchases that aren't essential. If you do need to borrow money, make sure you can afford the payments and pay off the debt as quickly as possible. 2. Overspending on housing. Housing is one of the biggest expenses for most people, and middle-class individuals are no exception. With rising prices, it's easy to overspend on housing and end up with a mortgage or rent payment that eats up a large portion of your income. Overspending on housing can have a major impact on your finances. It can leave you with little room in your budget for other expenses like food, transportation, and entertainment. It can also make it difficult to save for emergencies or retirement. One way to reduce housing costs is to downsize to a smaller home or apartment. If that's not an option, consider moving to a more affordable neighborhood or city. You could also look into refinancing your mortgage to lower your monthly payments. Another option is to take on a roommate or rent out a room in your home to bring in extra income. 3. Luxury spending habits. Luxury spending refers to the purchase of expensive, non-essential items or experiences that are intended to provide pleasure or status. These could include items such as designer clothing, jewelry, expensive vacations, and luxury cars. Some common examples of luxury spending habits include dining out at expensive restaurants frequently, upgrading to the latest technology devices, buying a home that is beyond your means, and owning multiple cars. Luxury spending can have a significant impact on the financial stability of middle-class individuals. It can lead to living beyond your means, mounting credit card debt, and having little to no savings for emergencies or retirement. To avoid falling into the trap of luxury spending, it is essential to identify your needs versus wants. Create a budget that prioritizes your needs first, such as rent or mortgage payments, utilities, and food. Consider the cost of any luxury items in relation to your income and financial goals. Also, consider alternative, more affordable options for luxury experiences, such as staycations or shopping at thrift stores. 5. The car trap. The car trap refers to the idea that owning a car can be a significant expense that can keep you stuck in a cycle of debt and financial instability. The costs of owning a car can include car payments, insurance, gas, maintenance, and repairs. These expenses can add up quickly and consume a significant portion of your monthly budget. Consider alternative options to car ownership, such as car sharing services, public transportation, biking, or walking. These options can save you money, reduce your carbon footprint, and improve your health. If you do decide to own a car, there are several ways to save money on car expenses. Consider buying a used car instead of a new one, choosing a car with good gas mileage, and regularly maintaining your car. 6. Unhealthy lifestyle choices. You may not realize it, but your lifestyle choices can have a huge impact on your finances. Unhealthy habits like smoking, drinking, and overeating can not only hurt your health, but they can also hurt your wallet. These habits can lead to costly medical bills, lost productivity, and a host of other financial issues. The costs of an unhealthy lifestyle can add up quickly. For example, the average smoker spends over $1,000 per year on cigarettes, and that's just one unhealthy habit. When you add up all the costs, it's easy to see how an unhealthy lifestyle can really hurt your finances. But don't worry, making healthier choices doesn't have to break the bank. There are plenty of simple, low-cost ways to live a healthier lifestyle. For example, you can start by cooking at home more often, taking walks, and reducing your alcohol consumption. By making small changes like these, you can save money and improve your health at the same time. 7. The education trap. The education trap is a common one for the middle class. Many people believe that a college degree is the key to financial success, but the reality is that student loan debt can be a major burden. The cost of education has skyrocketed in recent years, leaving many graduates with tens of thousands of dollars in debt. Student loan debt can have a huge impact on the middle class. It can limit your ability to save for retirement, purchase a home, or start a business. And with interest rates on student loans often being higher than other types of debt, it can be difficult to pay off your loans and get ahead financially. But there are alternatives to traditional education that can help you avoid the education trap. For example, you can consider going to trade school, starting a business, or taking online courses. These options can be less expensive and more flexible, allowing you to gain the skills you need without incurring crippling debt. If you do decide to go the traditional education route, there are still ways to reduce the cost. You can start by applying for scholarships, attending community college, or taking advantage of tax credits. By being smart about your education expenses, you can avoid the trap and get ahead financially. 8. The keeping up with the Joneses trap. Keeping up with the Joneses mentality refers to the desire to match or exceed the lifestyle or possessions of our peers or neighbors. It's a common trap that many people fall into, especially in the age of social media, where we constantly see the highlights of other people's lives. Trying to keep up with others can be very expensive. You might end up overspending on things you don't need, like a new car, expensive clothes, or the latest gadgets. And when you overspend, you might have to take on more debt, which can lead to financial problems in the long run. To avoid the trap of keeping up with the Joneses, you need to focus on your own goals and priorities. Create a budget and stick to it. Save money for the things that are important to you, like a down payment on a house, laptop, or a vacation. And most importantly, learn to be content with what you have. 9. Ignoring retirement planning. Retirement planning is crucial because it allows you to live a comfortable life after you stop working. If you don't plan for retirement, you might end up working longer than you want or living on a very tight budget. The risks of ignoring retirement planning are significant. You might end up not having enough money to retire, relying on Social Security, or having to work longer than you want. To start planning for retirement, you need to figure out how much money you'll need to live on in retirement. Then you can start saving for retirement through your employer's retirement plan or a personal retirement account. And don't forget to review your retirement plan regularly to make sure you're on track. 10. Falling for get-rich-quick schemes. Get-rich-quick schemes promise quick and easy money, which is very appealing to many people. However, most of these schemes are scams or very risky investments. Investing in get-rich-quick schemes can be very risky. You might lose all your money or end up in debt. Plus, many of these schemes are illegal, so you could also face legal trouble. To spot and avoid get-rich-quick schemes, you need to be skeptical of any investment that promises quick and easy money. Do your research and ask questions before investing your money. And remember, if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. 11. The emergency fund trap. One of the biggest traps that middle-class people fall into is not having an emergency fund. An emergency fund is money that you set aside specifically for unexpected expenses. When you don't have an emergency fund, you end up having to dip into your savings or even go into debt when something unexpected comes up. Having an emergency fund is incredibly beneficial because it can give you peace of mind knowing that you're financially prepared for unexpected expenses. It can also prevent you from going into debt or having to sell your belongings to cover the cost of an emergency. Creating an emergency fund doesn't have to be difficult. You can start small by setting aside a certain amount of money each week or month. Aim to save at least 3 to 6 months' worth of living expenses. You can keep your emergency fund in a high-yield savings account so that it can earn interest while still being easily accessible. 12. Impulse buying. Another trap that middle-class people fall into is impulse buying. Impulse buying is when you make a purchase without really thinking about it. This could be anything from buying a new outfit because it's on sale to buying a new car just because you want it. Impulse buying can be incredibly costly. Not only do you end up spending money on things that you don't really need, but you could also end up going into debt or having to sacrifice other things that are more important. There are a few things you can do to avoid impulse buying. First, make a list before you go shopping and stick to it. This will help you avoid buying things that you don't need. Second, give yourself a waiting period before making a purchase. This will give you time to think about whether or not you really need the item. Finally, consider using cash instead of credit cards when you go shopping. This will make it easier to stick to your budget. We all make money mistakes because we are, after all, human. Hopefully by highlighting this 12, I can help reduce the number you make. Now, if you find this video helpful, make sure you give it a like and consider subscribing so you won't miss out on any of our future videos. Thanks for watching and see you in the next one.